This is a part of my youth I refuse to let loose. For some guys it's sports. It wasn't for me when I was a kid. I had to be outside, but I was always on a bike. Department store bikes just weren't cool. So I always take spare parts and put a bike together. As an adult, if you want to call it that, I kind of regressed to my youth. And I found this old frame. It was just a bare frame. No forks, no wheels, no handlebars, no crank, no pedals, no seat, no chain guard, nothing. Just a bare frame and a pile of junk. Thought this bike deserved to be reborn. After doing some research, I found out this is a 1964 Schwinn American. At one time, probably a really nice bike. Didn't look so good when I got it. And with help from like-minded friends who had parts for their bikes, I was able to resurrect it and bring it back to life. I know it's just a bike, but when I ride it, I feel alive. Well, I did ride it. It fits me just fine. It's what I always said whenever I built it. It's hard to pedal, it's not fast at all. It's much like I am now. I put hundreds of miles on this bike. I made it one of a kind. As I sit here in a wheelchair, all I can do is look at it. I have to ask for help to move it around. I still have dreams about cruising down big hills, one hand on the Flanders motorcycle handlebars, the other on my knee. Uphills made me work so hard, but I made it up every time. After a long ride, I'd put it on the back porch, grab some iced tea, and get lost in my own mind, thinking about what I accomplished. Oh, I've had a Harley. I had an old 66 Chevy stepside with a 327. I even had a boat. But I never got the same feeling I'd got when on a bicycle. I can't ride it anymore. I have a few other bikes that are awesome. A good friend of mine, Pete, painted an old Western Flyer boys bike. That thing is absolutely gorgeous. But there's nothing like this one. It describes me best. It's a bit rusty. The paint is chipped. Much like me, the air in the tires are running low. The seat's faded and it sits still a lot like me. But the light still works, although it's a little bit dimmer than it used to be, much like me. I sit and I stare at it and it takes me back to a better time, when I was young and I didn't have fear. I thought about letting it go, but I'm afraid I'd lose the feeling. So I'll just hang on to it, relive the memories as often as I can. You know, it's the warmest, most familiar place I know. I've purposely struggled to get out of bed just to go outside and look at it. I know it's just a bike, but I did give a bare frame a second chance. And now it takes me to the best place I've ever known.